Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio. Your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Howdy y'all, Red O'Loughlin here. We're on the Corner Bookstore on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I have 3 shows every Thursday back to back, starting with the Corner Bookstore, then another show called The Wise Ones, and finally my last show called Talking Heads. Today, we're starting with the Corner Bookstore, and my guest today is Jordan Gray, and I'll be introducing him in just a moment. When I'm not doing TV shows, I research the human body at the cellular level, chemically speaking. I look for cause and effect relationships. I primarily focus on aging and age-related disease, longevity. In fact, I have a new book coming out literally in about 3 or 4 months called Aging Sucks, where I'll be looking at the causes of aging, the causes of health, and the pathways of disease, and giving people an idea of what causes everything, so they have an idea, they have some method, some option, some opportunity to actually help themselves down the road when they get ready to retire. Enough about me. Jordan Gray is also a former veteran, U.S. Air Force. He is involved in science fiction writing, and please join me up here on stage, Jordan.
Hi, happy to be here.
Veteran, U.S. Air Force, how many years?
I did 6 years in Minot, North Dakota.
Minot, North Dakota. I've been there one time, touched the runway. We didn't stop very long.
Got refueled by somebody like me and probably got back in the air as soon as possible.
I think that's my memory. So,
that's what I did while I was in the Air Force. I was a refueling troop, POL. That's petroleum, oil, and lubricants. And it's where I effectively lost my mind because of the nature of the work. You're surrounded by diesel engines and jet engines all day. For 6 years, my workday had this much communication. Shut it down or start it up. That was it.
oh,
And eventually it was just mind-numbing. And I decided I'm better off disassociating. I could still do the work on autopilot. You know, we're reasonably safe, but so much of it is just watching numbers turn that I started carrying a little notebook around, and I still have most of them somewhere around here. And I just started jotting down ideas, and then in the downtime, as you probably know, Red, when there's an exercise where all you're doing is the exercise isn't for you, it's for someone else. You're just a body moving through, or you got to get acclimated to like a hazmat gear. So there's nothing to do. You're just wearing a full protective suit so you don't panic if the time comes. And I'm like, cool. I have 12 hours to kill while wearing this. I can't hear anything. And over the course of a few years, it took shape into what would later become the Infinite Night Book 1, The Happy Marauder. And a lot of that comes from tabletop gaming in those exact situations.
you mentioned a couple of different deals. Did you ever do the pull chalks?
No, that was crew chiefs.
Okay.
I had my own chalks for my equipment that I pulled.
Yeah, but no, and starting engines and all that. Yes, a lot of hand signals, very little verbal. But anyway, so you're sitting there, your mind is going crazy. You're jotting down thoughts. did you realize at that time that that was probably going to be the beginning of a book?
Uh, Not initially, not to myself. It was mostly like I took up whittling for a while too, and everyone had their own thing. I got through one exercise by buying a bunch of Sudoku puzzles and the coloring books and the crossword puzzles for everybody, just because I wanted to keep people out of trouble. Because people in close quarters, stressful situations, nerves fray, and eventually conflict erupts.
Yeah. Okay, so you decided to write this book. How long did it take you? First book?
About 2 years dedicated. Because over my career in the Air Force, then later in the petroleum industry, I did heavy haul. It turned into a lot of the same things where I'm sitting in nowhere waiting on someone to show up. And a lot of times it was engineering or a site manager who would come and say, hey, we can offload, put the equipment here, there. We need to do this. And sometimes he wouldn't show up. So we would just sit at a pad site in the out in the oil fields waiting. And that's where I picked up writing again. Eventually, it got to the point of where I didn't know, either I needed to invest a bunch of money to keep doing what I'm doing or walk away from it all, basically unscathed with almost no debt. That was a big deciding factors. I could walk away here and now and be clean. And that, aside from a few living situations that needed to be considered, that's what I decided. Was I knew what my future looked like working in the oil fields. Sure, I might have a shiny truck, but it's away from home, doing jobs that are take a terrible toll on your body, not to mention the mental strain. And I wipe my hands, I guess. That's my cue. I'm out.
Okay, so you spent 2 years writing the book. How long did it take you to get it edited?
It was in that process.
Okay.
Because I didn't know how editing worked before finishing it. So the first, what would turn into the quarter of that manuscript, it's now broken up into 4 parts. And getting that, because I didn't know how publishing worked at all, I reached out on a few connection websites where they connect professionals. Found my my editor, Robin, who's lovely. She's on my website. She coached me through the process, and I've noticed how it shifted from my insane scribblings to, oh, this is actual work. And even now, a year after the original came out, which is the book cover you're looking at there, I've noticed how much I am shifting. I'm getting better. By no means great. Do not compare me to the greats. But it's a significant improvement upon my own writing skills.
Do you have any favorite sci-fi authors or movies that you can't miss?
Yes, I have tons of them. I grew up on, we'll start with Star Trek, because they're one of the ones that everyone, just about every science fiction explores dystopian, how things go wrong and how a tool can become a weapon and be where safety can become abuse. They go the other direction of, this is how we addressed each issue. Underrepresentation, okay, you can have a culture of one, so on and so forth. However, don't abuse, we have to butt up against the needs of the many versus the needs of the few. That being said, the Batleth from Star Trek was some of my inspiration for this. I call it my Pawlok. It's supposed to be a weapon for prying open armor, and this turned out too big because it was my first rendition. Based off the Batleth, which I held when I was a child, and I just hated it. and I've revised my opinion since then because I watched a video on people who specialize in melee weapons, and they talked about how it would be great in a close quarters grappling scenario, especially for prying open armor, and it's very defensive. But by then, I had already kind of settled into my Palok, my Tet, which I haven't forged in real life yet.
Is that
And
item that you just picked up in the hand, is that aluminum or is that metal? Because it looks like it'd be
it's
pretty
steel.
heavy. It's steel?
Yep. It's about 12 pounds.
Yeah.
I know
After
that
a while,
because,
you roll that thing around, it's going to definitely build up some muscle.
yeah. I found out how much it weighs because Comic-Cons and conventions have weight limits for blunt objects because they don't want people hurting each other.
The names that you use for your characters and locations and all that, is this just your vivid imagination?
Mostly, yes. I also have it's an offshoot of Scrabble, but it's basically a bag of dice with letters on it, and I literally roll the dice to come up with letters and there we have it, because my mind is a bit too linear, so I need to introduce that level of randomness. Otherwise, everyone's going to be named Bob and John.
Any Klingon languages?
I want to create my own language. I institute a word here and there. Like one of my independently generated is the word Tet. T-E-T. It's the friend that brings you home. Where, especially in characters in stressful situations, the tendency is for people to revert to their native tongue. And one of my characters is not human. And there's a disagreement. He starts yelling back and forth with the superior. And it's my opportunity to add in cultural aspects to it because I have the archetype, and now I'm like, okay, let's go weird here. Can humans make these noises? Yes or no? Flip a coin, and then start reaching into the Scrabble bag and throwing letters together and see what happens.
Okay, so you had the book written, it's edited, you're ready to go to publishing. When did you actually start marketing the book?
As soon as I got my my proof copies,
Okay.
and I saw, okay, this is a real book. Like, this doesn't look like something I printed off at home. I can sell this to people. Because I had never ordered a book from an independent printer before. And I didn't know what happened after I sent things off to Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So I ordered from their websites respectively.
Okay.
Got them in. I'm like, this is mine. Yes. And immediate, shipping times is what mattered from there. Is I tried to go out to comic book stores and gaming shops where half the book was written based on, I don't know if you're familiar. Well, everyone knows D&D, like the tabletop RPG. That's where a lot of my characters our concepts originally spawned from.
What social medias do you prefer?
Instagram, Facebook. I'm on TikTok, but it's a little bit more finicky, and I got banned for no reason that I can make sense of from from X. I think my mistake was I immediately just started following all my favorite authors. Like as soon as I created the account associated with my website.
Well, we're getting ready to take a break here in just literally about 10 seconds or so. When we come back, I want to talk about AI and what that might or might not have done in your series and your future. So why don't you be thinking AI, and when we come back from the break, we'll go down that road for a little bit.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Red O'Loughlin here. We're on the Corner Bookstore on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. My guest today is author Jordan Gray. Jordan, please join me back up on stage.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, we just before we went to break, I broached the topic of AI. Did you use AI at all in any of your research or writings or covers? Or
No.
Okay.
Granted, most of this was already done before AI was commercially available. I don't know. How much do you count me going, telling Siri to take me home counts?
No, a lot of things are out there that are available, and video trailers, for instance. I made two of them last night for my book that's coming out this summer. It takes 5 or 10 minutes to make, but it's AI. I use AI all the time for my research, but I don't use it a whole lot for my writing. I extract from what that gives me because and even when they give me stuff, it's not always complete. I got to continue my research even after I get it. But I've used AI for covers I published about 50 books for other people, and I've used it for cover creation. I'll have 5 covers made and have the author. I like BNC, and we kind of go from there. So there's a lot of places, and when you use spell check, that's AI.
I was like, that's a fair point. I use Microsoft Word. I had to disable Copilot because the predictive text was starting to frustrate me. I'm like, no, that's not where I'm going. My voice is not picture perfect. It's not. These people are crude blue collar grunts who do work. They're not polite.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
The cover art is done by Jeff Brown. I believe he's available on Instagram, Jeff Brown Graphics. When I met him, he was a godsend because I sent him a long email of everything I thought I wanted for my cover. And we schedule a meeting. We had not unlike this, except for in the main screen, that blank canvas, he has me talk him through, and he does Vanguard City, where there's a space elevator, because I want practical approaches to the conservation of energy. That's a huge problem in space travel, is just getting things off the ground. And that's why we're looking at a metropolis in orbit. And that was mostly spawned out. Its design was spawned from him, and he had it mostly drawn up within half an hour. It didn't have the detail, but it was sketched out. And watching him work was like, okay, I picked the right person. This is somebody who brings vision, I guess would be the right word, to add to what I'm trying to do. And that's just something I can't live without.
Yeah, I read Andy Weir's The Martian. I saw the movie, and I really liked the book more than the movie.
Yeah.
I read Hail Mary a while back, and I know, whoa, that's now a movie. And
yeah, that I'm excited about about Hail Mary coming out.
Yeah, it's coming out here tomorrow, and so my wife and I are going to go see it probably over the weekend. But that one is pretty interesting in the context of how do they communicate in 2 entirely different worlds. And so anyway, I'm not a big sci-fi, but some things really grab me. Star Trek, Star Wars, a lot of that kind of thing. Very definitely a Star Trek fan from way back when. But anyway, so as you're putting this whole thing together, now you have a paperback and an ebook. Do you have an audiobook planned?
I have it planned. I am working on it as we speak. That is the only delay between book 3 coming out, is I'm focusing a lot of my efforts on getting the audible out, because
Okay.
me and from what I understand, everybody nowadays listens to books in their car because they're just over repetitive music and commercials.
Do you have a hardcover book?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, the hardcovers it's the exact same book except for these are the ones where the dust jackets died, so now they're my samples to play with.
Okay. Foreign language. Do you have any plans of putting this into any foreign language at all?
I do have plans. That's something in the works, mostly because I don't have any leads on economical translator. I figured that would be something that happened down the road.
Okay, there's a company called Fiverr.com. Are you familiar with them?
I am.
Go there and look at translating books, because they have quite a few people in there with different languages, like English, Portuguese, for instance. And
Yeah.
they'll say, they've done, 120 books. They're fluent in both languages, because you really need that understanding of the nuances of everything. But they charge
Mhm.
strictly by the word, and they're actually fairly economical compared to what it was when I was looking seriously at this thing about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So that might be a place for you to at least get an idea what it's going to cost, and then figure
Yeah.
out, is this going to be in Japanese, or is this going to be in German, whatever.
Yeah. That Japanese would be my target follow-on audience. It's one of those I'm having to budget my time between getting the audible done, finishing book 3, and also try to build a company while doing all of this. And I have no experience in running a company. I've been an independent contractor for half a decade, but that's one thing versus interacting with the public. When I was in heavy haul, I had my clients, and everything was we understood the numbers. We didn't always agree. And at a certain point, it's, if we're going to go broke, I'm going to go broke at home, not making you money. And it was a harsh reality of that. Now I'm trying to find employees to handle, for example, the website, social media, and stuff where I'm very weak, so I can have a free hand to find voice actors, a producer, and all that stuff, so I can get the book narrated into an audiobook.
Okay, so you're doing your own audio. You're going down that route, because there are some places that, in fact, I think even nowadays, KDP Amazon will give you an audiobook, but it's going to be an AI voice.
Yeah.
Which, it's depending on what voice it is, it might be acceptable, might not. I don't know. I'm at that point now where I'm deciding, what do I want to do? I want one, but again, it's a timing issue. So from that perspective,
because I'm a creative and my characters are different facets of myself, because to be honest, I'm not great enough to be like, I'm not Stephen King, who can just create a whole universe at the drop of a hat. A lot of them are reflections on myself, so I want them to have some soul, some bitterness, not something that's coming from a large language model, not in my imagination true AI, which is a emergent property after these programs expand enough where they become fully sentient and are running themselves. The way I approach AI in my book, they're characters, they're people. They may, especially with the conversation evolving nowadays around neurodivergence, we're now getting a language to characterize people other than ourselves. So like I have non-biological characters who I would consider AI, but not the stuff that makes bad videos on YouTube.
Okay, are you familiar with an AI called, it's part of Google, Notebook LM?
Mm-mm.
You might want to jot that one down, because I think you might find that one pretty interesting. It's a little bit different than ChatGPT and Claude and all the rest of them. I think for what you have, might be a very good source of being able to catalog and use. So a lot of good videos on YouTube as to what it is, 10 or 15 minutes, you kind of get an idea of what it does. I'm using it right now. Actually, I'm still in my own training end of things, but I've produced a couple of things. Okay, fine. At least I know what kind of product I can get out. That might be I think with what you're doing, it might be of immense value to you.
The experience I've had on social media, especially from the various writer groups, is you immediately get ostracized for using AI for content generation. For research purposes, I'm on board.
Yeah. But again, this is yes, there is content generation, but it's like anything else. I take, when I get done with everything, I'm done, I've finished, and I say, okay, fine, proof it for a 7th grade level.
Yeah.
It's basically like a spell checker. So depending on how you want to use it, it's a tool. It can be used so many different ways. I totally agree with you. You don't want to have your whole world created on AI. And, you have a new book coming out every week because, that's all you do. And there's a lot of things in AI that stand out. Well, this has to be AI just because of this, and this. They are very, very standard in that. So, but anyway, but I think we've kind of beat that one to death a little bit. So anyway, I noticed that you also do, in addition to Comic-Con, you do Barnes and Noble. How's that experience?
The ones that I've been to have been lovely. Shout out to Deerbrook, the mall in North Houston. They have been very welcoming. The Second and Charles bookstores and wherever else I can go. Also, are you out of Houston?
I am.
Okay. There's Third Planet comic book store. It's the oldest. I should have wore their shirt today. The oldest comic book store in Houston. And it's where I try to circle there once a month, because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't still be trying to write books. It's given me that in-person opportunity to sell books that keeps me going. It keeps the lights on.
Okay, we're at that point in time in the show where I'm going to ask you, Jordan, how can people get in touch with you? How do they buy your books?
Link below, theinfinitenightbooks.com. That's my website, so be gentle. I did it off of YouTube tutorials. And then Amazon and Barnes and Noble both carry my books. Okay,
for our audio audience, that'll be later on today after the live shows are over. The Infinite Night Books, plural.com. Just exactly the way it sounds, theinfinitenightbooks.com. Jordan, I wish you the best. I look forward to our next conversation down the road someplace. I'm sure it'll happen. And I know you're going to be successful in this one just because you have that grit to make it happen. So I wish you the absolute best. And let's connect down the road again when you have another book or two out for the public.
Absolutely. And thank you for your service.
And likewise. Take care, Jordan. We'll catch you later. Red O'Loughlin here, wrapping up this week's session of the Corner Bookstore. The guest today was Jordan Gray, the InfiniteNightBooks.com website, and sci-fi thrillers. My next show is called The Wise Ones. It's dedicated to business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and we talk about, what wisdom have you accumulated over time? My next show after that's called Talking Heads, and that's where I have my own whatever topic I want to talk about. I have a book coming out that I'm titling Aging Sucks. And as such, I'm combining the hallmarks of aging, the hallmarks of health, and the pathways of disease all into one book and showing what can make you accelerate the aging process or decelerate the aging process. So today I'm concentrating on exercise. That's one of several lifestyle choices we make literally on an everyday basis. So exercise, health, and aging is the topic on Talking Heads today. If you miss it, it's available on YouTube. Go there and look up USA Global TV and Radio, and you'll be able to find the playlist for the archives. So I am looking forward to catching you on the next show. Red Laughlin here, signing out on USA Global TV and Radio Network. Bye, y'all.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.